In the Roaring '20s, America danced to the tune of endless possibilities. The stock market soared and dreams seemed within everyone's reach. But then came the day that shattered it all. October 29, Black Tuesday and Thursday, the days the country was sent into the darkest depths of the Great Depression. Dreams crumbled to dust, fortunes vanished, and hope seemed but a distant memory. When President Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected in 1932, he became a figure of inspiration for America.
I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people. Give me your help not to win votes alone, but to win in this crusade to restore America to its own people.
With those words, a beacon of hope emerged, a beacon known as the Works Progress Administration. Under the guidance of President Roosevelt, the WPA became more than just a program. It became a lifeline for millions of Americans struggling to survive in the depths of despair, including local communities. With the substantial involvement of the government, the WPA not only provided jobs and assistance nationwide, but also marked a pivotal turning point in governmental intervention. When Americans began to lose hope, the WPA emerged as a ray of optimism, starting a transformative journey that reshaped the nation's destiny. From the streets of Stamford and Norwalk, Connecticut, to the far reaches of the country, the WPA's bold initiatives brought a new life into struggling communities, leaving a lasting mark on the regional and national landscape. But its impact didn't stop there. The WPA's unmatched involvement signaled a revolutionary shift in the role of government, bringing in a new era of active intervention to tackle societal and economic crises head-on. Through its sweeping projects and unwavering commitment, the WPA not only lifted spirits locally and nationally, but also paved the way for a groundbreaking era of governmental action, forever changing American history and how America addressed its people's needs. The nation faced major economic challenges, with high unemployment rates plaguing communities across the country. President Roosevelt recognized the severity of the situation and the urgent need for intervention. His administration sought ways to change the staggering levels of unemployment and improve economic recovery. High unemployment was a pressing issue that demanded immediate attention. The WPA became a crucial tool in providing jobs for those left without work, offering major support to millions of Americans struggling to make ends meet. Located in the Norwalk City Hall, there are over 30 WPA murals. Although many artworks created under the WPA across the country have disappeared or been damaged over time, Norwalk's collection was saved and repaired. The Norwalk City Hall is home to a collection of New Deal art. The WPA murals at Norwalk City Hall comprise one of the largest and most important collections of restored Depression-era art in the country. Alexander Rumler is one of the numerous WPA painters. In 1936, as a part of the Works Progress Administration, he created paintings at Norwalk High School, which was being built at the time. He made 16 big paintings and 8 smaller ones that showed life in Norwalk, like the oyster factories and fishing scenes. However, Norwalk isn't the only city with stories like these. Stamford, too, had numerous WPA projects, including art murals. James Henry Dougherty is well known in Connecticut for his contributions to art. Born in North Carolina in 1887, he grew up in a family that valued culture. Dougherty studied art in Washington, D.C., and later in Europe, where he learned about mural painting. He moved to New York City in 1907 and became known for his modernist style and use of color. During the 30s, Dougherty worked on various art projects, including the WPA Federal Arts Project. He painted murals, which were started under earlier projects, including the WPA, and some were included in Stamford High School. Dougherty was admired in Weston and the surrounding region. In 1934, 7 big paintings covering 1,000 square feet were made for the music room at Stamford High School in Connecticut. Dougherty painted them as a part of the New Deal, specifically the WPA. He wanted to show different parts of history like education, sports, and art, using people from different backgrounds. All the murals are located in different areas in Connecticut. Murals are waiting to be restored as there is not enough money yet. However, the paintings that have been restored were saved by the help of the government, making this a turning point for them. These projects, like constructing infrastructure and creating artworks, revitalize communities like Stamford and Norwalk, Connecticut, restoring dignity and pride. The preservation of the WPA murals, such as those in Norwalk City Hall, showcases the government's commitment to cultural heritage. Artists like Alexander Rumler and James Henry Doherty captured the core aspects of life within the community, leaving a lasting legacy. Despite challenges, ongoing efforts to preserve and showcase these artworks emphasize the enduring impact of the WPA in local areas, along with the government's Milestone. But the effects weren't only applied to local cities. Across the entire country, the Works Progress Administration launched projects that both reshaped the landscape and breathed new life into the economy and society. WPA projects all over the U.S. were supported by the government by providing funding and labor to help. In Patricia Failing's article, Review, New Deal Art in the Northwest, the WPA and Beyond, edited by Margaret E. Bullock, she agrees when she states, government funding initiated the New Deal art projects across the nation from 1933 to 1943, supporting thousands of artists during the Great Depression. While Failing celebrates the big picture, she forgets the little details, the real stories of how the government helped transform communities like Ogdensburg. In the small town of Ogdensburg, where people were uncertain about the future, a new school brought hope. With $180,000 funded by the government, they could build a grade and junior high school. Other projects were created, but they all had one thing in common. People were united because they knew this school wasn't just a building, and the projects weren't just work for money, it was a symbol of their strength and determination. But this could not have been done without the government's major turning point by providing help. Another example is the creation and funding of libraries and more. The government, through the WPA, approved a grant of nearly $30,000 to improve libraries in the village and town of North Elba, meaning they'll have more money to make libraries better for everyone. But it's not just libraries that received help. Other projects in the area also got funding. For example, there's money for hiring more clerical workers for municipal offices and libraries, installing water lines and hydrants on different roads, operating a stone crushing plant for road construction, and completing the Whiteface Mountain Memorial Highway. In New York, over 400 WPA projects were created and over 2,000 were improved. None of this would have been possible without the help of federal funds and the government as a whole, making this a major milestone for them. Ohio, too, experienced the help of the government. The WPA provided jobs for the people who were, at the time, unemployed in Hamilton, Ohio. The Works Progress Administration, or more specifically, the federal government, granted over $44,000. This was done to provide funding in order to decrease unemployment rates, making this a significant turning point for the government. Throughout American history, the Works Progress Administration serves as a reminder to the nation of the resilience the United States had and has when in crisis. From the Great Depression being a devastating and severe moment in U.S. history to the transformative and ambitious WPA showcasing the resilience the nation has, the U.S. will be forever changed. As unemployment soared and communities struggled with despair, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's bold vision paved the way for a never-seen-before governmental intervention. But its greatest legacy lies in its revolutionary approach to governance, bringing in a new era of active intervention. With government support and funding, schools were built, roads were paved, and cultural landmarks were preserved, laying the foundation for a brighter future. Though the challenges of the Great Depression were immense, we all look back and we see not just a chapter in history, but a guiding light, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope and there is always the power to build a brighter future, all thanks to President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his Works Progress Administration. This is how the governmental intervention was a major and significant turning point in U.S. history.